Hello there. So now it's time for the Elementalist class. I here will be talking about the melee Elementalist because that's the one I've got. So my Elementalist does not use staves. She uses normal swords really, but she obviously utilizes the spells in the earth and the storm mastery. So we'll start with the earth skills. Um, I think first of all, I'd say Earth Enchantment tree is quite a good idea. I mean, usually with the hybrid classes, it's pretty useful because it adds extra damage to your melee attacks. So it's definitely a good tree to go for. Here are some of the defensive skills that I highlighted. I advise you to get all of them. The two on the left here, I only put 1 point in each. Because I don't think you really need anything more than that. The stone form is a good panic button, and the heat shield is quite good because it gives you 15% damage resistance. And the one on the right, that's the ring of flame, which sort of hurts all the monsters which surround you. Whereas it wasn't so as useful for sort of pure hybrids, which don't get to be so powerful with melee elementalists, because there's quite a lot of emphasis on the elemental damage here on intelligence. That's why this skill can actually be quite powerful. So this is quite a good skill for this build. And here's some of the offensive skills. I wouldn't really advise to go for Flame Surge so much, because it's not very powerful and has quite a bad range. But Volcanic Orb and Eruption are pretty good skills. You can get both of them if you want, or you can get just one of them. It's up to you, really. I mean, I've only got an Eruption here, but Volcanic Orb is quite good to start with because you can get it relatively early in the game. Then we've got the Core Dweller, which is he's quite a good pet. Very useful for the mages, and also for some of the hybrid classes to do with the earth. I think he's quite useful for melee elementalist as well. Although, I mean, I haven't developed him that much yet because I've been sort of using skill points in other skills a lot. So it's up to you really. I mean, see whether you're dying fast or not. So if you're dying really fast, probably it's good to have a Core Dweller to take the heat off you. And I finally mentioned the volatility skill. I think you should definitely put at least 1 point in it because it sort of gives, I think, 33% chance of dealing extra fire damage, which is cool. Then we'll move to Storm. First of all, Storm Nimbus, which is another enchantment, just the same as Earth Enchantment was with the Earth Mastery. The Storm Nimbus. So you might want to get both of them. That's quite good. Both enchantments. Here are the two lightning skills. The one on the left is a lightning bolt, and the one on the right is a thunderbolt. I would say this: the lightning is sort of the lightning bolt. That one is more useful for the damage dealing properties, whilst Thunderbolt is more for the stunning. So if you want to deal loads of elemental damage, I'd advise you to go for the lightning, and especially get the chain lightning as well, because that's really good. So it bounces around the enemies. Thunderbolt is I usually put only 1 point in it, and also 1 point in its upgrade. So you can sort of shoot out and stun the enemies which are trying to surround you. The Ice Shards, it's one of those skills you don't really need, but you can get it if you want to. I mean, you can see I fully have gone for Ice Shards here, because I really love using them. And if you are getting Ice Shards, make sure you sort of you get the top two skills as fast as possible, because the bottom skill by itself isn't very good. And also I would advise you to get some rings which have a high increase to the casting speed, because when the casting speed is increased, it allows you to shoot these Ice Shards like a machine gun. Otherwise it'll be too slow. These two are quite useful skills as well. Squall skill, so it's good for, it's both offensive and defensive properties really. I mean, it deals damage to the enemies in a certain area, and it also causes them to miss when they shoot you, and reduces their resistances. So it's quite a multi-purpose skill. And the Storm Surge is usually 1 point is quite good in it, because it sort of gives it's like a passive. It procs whenever enemies attack you, so that's quite good. Whenever you sort of getting attacked a lot, the wave of like storm just comes out and sort of stuns the enemies. You can get the Wisp if you want to, but I mean, I've got a Cordwell already, and one pet is enough. But you can get both if you want to. I think the Wisp, that second attack that it has is, increases the elemental damage output, which you do, which I mean I haven't tried it myself, but it could be useful. But yeah, personally, as you can see here, I haven't gone for the Wisp. These skills I highlighted here, I find the least useful in the Storm. I mean the one on the left here, which I highlighted in green, the Spellbreaker, that one only suits very certain builds. The ones on the right, you got the Energy Shield, which has damage absorption. It's quite a little amount, so I never really found it useful. Neither have I found that Freezing Blast useful either. Now we're moving. I'll quickly mention the stats as well, because the stats can be a bit of a problem with the melee elementalist. If you're going for the pure elementalist, the caster, then you can entirely forget about the strength. So just go for the intelligence and maybe a little bit for dexterity as well. And if you're running out of energy, then get energy, because you probably will run out of energy a lot, especially if you're using the ice shards. Here with the melee elementalist, it's a lot harder, because if you're gonna go melee, you need to invest in strength as well. But at the same time, you need to go in intelligence too if you're utilizing the elemental spells. So as you can see here, I sort of prioritized intelligence, then I went strength to the second place and dexterity as the third place. But sort of make sure you put skill points into each of them. And because you're splitting it like that, it can be tricky. Even though I have to admit, the first 3 acts of normal and probably the first 2 acts of epic, she was really powerful. I mean, she could kill enemies really fast. It's mostly the act 4 normal that was pretty hard, and sort of the later stages of epic and possibly legendary would be hard as well. I mean, she hasn't gone to legendary yet, but yeah. And the secondary stats here as well. The cast speed is quite high. It should be even higher. It can get up to 300%. I sort of had to sacrifice a little bit because I was trying to raise stats in other places. But 200% is not too bad, I suppose. Still good enough for the ice shards. And that's it really. That's the melee elementalist for you. So good luck with that, and if you have any questions, feel free to just ask me in the comments. Bye then.